Hi there, look out over the middle here. Very well. If you don't know what's behind me, that's Victoria. That's right, yeah, I'm in Victoria Station today. And I'm taking my first trip outside of London for the first time in 5 months. Now the reason why I haven't been outside of London in 5 months is not really just because of COVID-19. It's not because I haven't been working too much. It's basically because I have not been asked to get out of the London circle. I mean, there's so much other parts of London I've never been to. Never been to Bath, never been to Bristol once in my life, never been to Isle of Man. But you know, but I've been staying in London for like the last 5 months, and I got like a few more months until I go abroad again. But today I feel like going to the seaside. I'm gonna go to Littlehampton. Let's go. So anyway, I always have a habit of getting on the train early. I mean, like when you're at the train station, your telephone number doesn't just like show up for at least 20 or 30 minutes. But then you can still get on the train like 15 minutes before departure. So sometimes like it's nice to get on board the train, even though it's not going to be leaving for a while. I mean, you got like plenty of things to do. And most trains are free Wi-Fi, some have power sockets, you know. Make the most of your train ride. So here I am leaving London, Victoria. Just left about a minute ago. It's really overjoyous to be back on the train again. Like, I know I take the tubes, but I mean this is actual like British rail trains. Oh, it's a nice castle over there. You see, many years ago I came to Brighton Beach and I just realized, God, there's too many stones here. Like, what an awful beach. Because, you know, I was born in Australia and grew up with sand from the beach. But then, many years ago I went to Bournemouth. And I'm like, oh cool, I got sands on that beach. It's really nice. But it seems like all the beaches from Brighton all the way here and onto Bournemouth, well, they seem to be full of nothing but stones. Yes. So it's not really comfortable to be walking on stones barefoot. You know what I mean? But looking out of this is my first view of the English Channel since December 2019 when I came back from French Guiana in France. Even though I went under the English Channel to get back to Dover, that was the last time I saw the English Channel Sea. The other last time I saw actual sea was in Trondheim in Norway, when I saw the fjords. So it's good again to leave London after 5 months there, and just come out here for the day. See, look at the amazing art feature they've got at the front of the beach. I mean, look, it's just curved up and down, round and round. You know, I mean, it doesn't spill out a word or anything. I mean, it would be nice if it could spell like Littlehampton, but still very creative and very smart. I did check the weather, and I knew it was going to be cloudy. But so I was caught back over there and started to rain a bit, a lot. I mean, look at that right there. And I'm meeting up with a friend at like 3 o'clock today. So I'm like, well, it's a bit ridiculous now though. Yeah. I mean, just right to the time when I went out to Trondheim to visit Brian Jones' grave. I mean, this is like similar conditions, like windy and rainy. I mean, since we're at the seaside, you got all sorts of birds. I mean, that's a seagull over there, but that thing here, I don't know what it is. It's like reminds me of a plover back in Australia. I mean, similar type of like feet, similar type of colours, but yeah. No, I don't have any chips for you.
So I'm just waiting for the train to leave Littlehampton to get back to Ford. Had a good afternoon, hanging out with my friend. Pretty good times and all. Also met a guy on the docks who was talking about like travel itself and how he split up with his wife. But there's a lot of really sad people in this part of town. I mean, there's just this guy walking around with a moustache and he's like shouting obscurities and just saying random things. It's like he's off his medication. You gotta like worry about some of these people, you know. You never know what they could do next to you. Alright, I've been living in the UK now for 5 years. There's one thing I don't really like is train prices and how you have to book maybe months or weeks in advance to get the best fare. You see, if you want to go like from London to Edinburgh and not have to sit on a bus, you gotta book your train fare at least maybe a month or two in advance. I mean, when I look for train tickets to go visit my cousin up in Aberdeen, they're always at least £90, even when I like book them 2 months in advance. So anyway, like today the main plan was to get to Littlehampton, but if I just booked a ticket from London to Littlehampton, that would have been £35 return. So, I mean, getting off at Ford and getting a separate ticket to Littlehampton, that only cost me £10. Plus, like a £4 day ticket to get from Ford to Littlehampton. So, when you're going to live in the United Kingdom, you got to remember that fares are always based on timing. You book on the day, you pay a lot of money. You book a few days in advance, you save big bucks.
So anyway, here's my example of how bullshit fares are when you book on the day. Like, let's just say, okay, if you live in Ford and you want to go to London, like right now, 1990 super off-peak return. If you want to go to Brighton, on the other side of town, that's like 11.50. But if you want to Portsmouth, that's 13.30. But check this out, okay? Let's just say I want to go visit my cousin in Aberdeen. Aberdeen, here. For a face mask, one way. £197.50, international £200, first class £326. I mean, the cheapest you can ever get these train tickets to Aberdeen are like £86 if you book in months in advance. But let's just say, okay, I want to go see my cousin in Newcastle. No, so put up there. No, not B. I said N. E W C. Yeah, Newcastle. See, Newcastle. Face mask, one way. See, £171. Super off-peak single. Yeah, and £293 first class. I mean, England, you know, your train fares are always a rip-off. Jay, how about that? Bloody good English rain. Just lucky I'm not in Littlehampton right now. I mean, even though I've been waiting over 2 hours at Ford, my train back, more happy to be here. And then right on the beach.